Hey guys, so I wanted to talk about this Glarry bass, and I picked it up because I saw one in a pawn shop, a natural wood P bass, and I think it was a little bit older maybe. Um, and it was $100, and I thought I need a bass to record with, and $100 sounds good to me. So I thought I'm going to be back the next day and pick it up probably, because I pulled it down, it played good. Somebody had probably given it some love. And when I looked up Glarry basses, I realized they're cheaper new. So that kind of set me on a rabbit hole of the Glarry basses, the jazz bass, and this one. And I ordered one because it sounded like you could take it out of the box and play it, like it's going to be fine. And like I said, I need something to record with, so I thought it'd be fun to order some stuff. So what I did was ordered some knobs that I thought would look cool, and I had a dark pick guard I ordered. Actually, this is the pick guard I ordered. Would have looked cool, but doesn't fit. So unless you can find a way to order a pick guard from Glarry somehow, and I haven't really seen a way to do that. I saw a white pick guard on eBay, but it would have looked fancier, but it wouldn't have had the cool Stark. I was going to go really contrasty, and because of the fret markers on here, I thought were cool. But what I do want to say about it is some things that other people have said, and a couple things that other people haven't said really. And that is, the body's beautiful. I mean, there isn't a dimple on here anywhere. Really nice. Pick guard didn't fit. Pick guard I'd have to cut up. I'd have to cut up kind of absurdly, and that kind of blew it for me. I was like, I got some vintage knobs for it, and I was going to do the pick guard, and then I was going to get some Seymour Duncans and tuners, and then maybe electronics. Of course, after that you've spent a couple $100. So, but I thought it'd be fun. But when the pick guard didn't fit, I was like, I'm going to save this pick guard for something else, and I'm just going to leave the Glarry how it is, I think. When I got it, the action was really high. People mention that often. And the edges of the frets are not, they are sort of sharp in places. I'll say that. Not unplayable, not like I'm going to get cut, but not comfortable. So you'd want to probably file those down. I saw a shootout video with a cheap Stingray, the Sub 4 series, against like a $2,000 one, and it was a blindfold test, and the only way he could really tell the difference between the two was because the back of the neck was finished so much nicer on the nice bases. It's kind of like that with this. This one is rough, and if they just spent 2 minutes with some, some fine sandpaper, it looks like it's a natural, non-existent finish. So you could oil it up or give it a finish, but at least sand it a bit because it's kind of rough. But it's comfortable. It's not like, the wood's not chewing my hand up or anything like that. The pickups sound okay. I'm sure Seymour Duncans or something would sound a little better. But like I said, I'm going to leave it because I got some other stuff coming. The bridge is very simple. It's working. I mean, it doesn't look fancy, but it's holding. Really no reason to change it out, I gotta say. The tuners are this standard look, and I was gonna put the clover leaf ones on here, but I think I'm just gonna not put too much effort into it. The top 3 strings tune well and they hold well. The G string slips, and I'm looking at the way it's strung, but I think it's strung fine. It slips. You got to tune it more to get the same distance out of it when you're tuning it, and it does slip out of tune. Yeah, if it's a keeper bass or player bass for you, I would say new tuners. But they probably put these things together as quickly as they possibly can. They probably have a diagram to show them where to put these. They probably don't even listen to it. And they slap it together. They don't adjust the truss rod. Once I adjusted the truss rod, really everything fell into place. Intonation was fine, and It sounded pretty good. It was easy to play. It did the trick for my recording I needed to do. And then I found a cheap Stingray in a pawn shop. I'm kind of on this adventure getting cheap basses and guitars, like $100, $150 pieces that are actually pretty good. Yeah, so I might do some more reviews. It's kind of fun right now. Going to pawn shops, having fun. But I think all around it plays pretty good for the money. I think it was 110 shipped to my door. So sound pretty good with the pick, or maybe with the sponge there. Yeah, but so I would say my conclusion was I got this because I was on a Glarry adventure trying to figure out if it was going to be really cool. And then I found out that even though I went down that rabbit hole, to be honest, pawn shops have better bases for $100 for, like, you know, this is 110 shipped, I think. I can get some older Squire or something probably for about the same price that's just ready to go. You don't have to replace anything to make it look cool. You don't have to probably adjust the truss rod, or, you know, you'll probably get it set up. But these strings are new, so since bass strings are 30, 40 bucks, that's true. A bass delivered for 110 or 100 maybe if you... I wanted this particular color, so I paid I don't know, maybe 10 bucks for to get this white P bass because I wanted a contrasty pick guard. Didn't quite work out, and I can't find a pick guard that's Glarry, because obviously a Glarry P bass pick guard would fit. And even on their site, I don't really see a way to order pick guards. It's really hard to find out which ones would fit this. Probably none. You probably just have to cut more than others, but I didn't like that. I didn't want to do that. So all in all, I would say pretty cool. If you found a Glarry in a pawn shop, especially a newer one, I guess the older ones kind of dive, you know, and they've worked out some things. This one does not dive. They got that worked out. And I would say overall though, for something for $100, pawn shop, you can probably get a bass that was 300 new, and doesn't need that much setup. Or maybe it does need some love, but like once you get it set up, it'll be killer. So anyway, that's my thoughts on the Glarry. Maybe got a couple more reviews coming soon on other stuff pawn shop finds. All right, later.